Fotis Dulos is clinging to life right now after he tried to commit suicide at his Farmington mansion earlier today.
We brought you the breaking news throughout the day, first at noon, and we've been working to get new information all night tonight. But police and attorneys remain tight-lipped.
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions that we need answers to. We can tell you he is being watched right now by New York police officers at a hospital in the Bronx. Our team coverage begins right now with a timeline of today's events.
11:54 a.m. Farmington police receive a call to conduct a well-being check on 52-year-old Fotis Dulos after he failed to show up in court for an emergency bond hearing. It's important to note that if that bond package fell through, it's likely Dulos would have been taken back into custody.
At 12 p.m., police show up at Dulos' home on Jefferson Crossing in Farmington. Drone 3 captures these exclusive images as police find Dulos in distress. We learn the accused killer had attempted suicide in his garage, suffering carbon monoxide poisoning.
12:05 p.m. Drone 3 gives us a bird's eye view as police perform CPR on Fotis Dulos on the driveway of his mansion. Shortly after, Dulos was taken by ambulance to UConn Health Center, which is just a few miles away from his home.
At 2:52 p.m., Farmington police and state police hold a press conference right outside the Dulos mansion.
3:24 p.m., covered by a white sheet, a stretcher carrying Fotis Dulos makes its way from an ambulance to an awaiting Lifestar helicopter just a few feet away.
At 3:33 p.m., that chopper takes off, and Dulos is airlifted by a Lifestar helicopter from UConn Health Center to Jacoby Medical Center in the Bronx.
And 4:10 p.m., the helicopter lands at the helipad at Jacoby Medical Center. Dulos is then loaded onto an ambulance, which brings him to the entrance of the trauma center. We're told that's where he remains tonight in critical condition.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Roger Suzanin picks up our team coverage from the Bronx, where we have just learned Dulos is being guarded by officers from the NYPD.
And Roger, Dulos' legal team was expected to give an update tonight, but apparently that changed at some point.
Yeah, Aaron and Mark, Dulos' attorney Norm Pattis pulled the plug on that press conference just within the last hour or so. And you know, Fotis Dulos' day began at his mansion in Farmington, and it appears like it will end here in a hyperbaric chamber in a hospital room here in the Bronx. Now, Fotis Dulos was taken by a Lifestar helicopter here to the Jacoby Medical Center, again here in the Bronx. And again, his lawyer, Norm Pattis, visited, but he left without telling the media anything about his client's current condition. It's clear any future, though, that Fotis Dulos may have is in the hands of the doctors and nurses in this hospital. As Fotis Dulos' short Lifestar flight to New York City drew to a conclusion with the helicopter touching down at Jacoby Medical Center in the Bronx, a crew was ready and quickly carried Dulos from a stretcher to a waiting ambulance, which rushed him to the ICU. Dulos is in critical condition after suffering carbon monoxide poisoning during a suicide attempt at his mansion in Farmington. We do not know how he is doing, but he is being cared for at one of the world's premier carbon monoxide treatment facilities. Jacoby Medical Center has been using hyperbaric chambers since 1983 to treat thousands of people who have suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning. According to Jacoby Medical Center's website, the chamber is essentially oxygen therapy and is the fastest method of reversing potentially life-threatening effects of carbon monoxide poisoning. The hyperbaric chamber works by rapidly removing carbon monoxide from the blood and body tissues. Tonight, Dulos' attorney, Norm Pattis, told us he would provide an update outside of Jacoby after checking in on his client. But after that meeting took place, Pattis abruptly canceled the press conference and declined to comment. So we know Fotis Dulos is here at Jacoby Medical Center, but we do not know his condition, whether he will survive, or if he has suffered any life-altering consequences from his decision to try to take his own life. And again, we just learned that officers with the NYPD will be guarding Fotis Dulos tonight. And again, as he is in a hyperbaric chamber this evening, we do know that his criminal case in Connecticut is continuing. In fact, tomorrow his bond hearing is scheduled for 2 o'clock at Stamford Superior Court. Reporting live in New York City in the Bronx outside Jacoby Medical Center, I'm Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.